indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, thank you. At this time, we'll start our agenda with our public hearing. I turn it over to the superintendent.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Tonight we have a public hearing on our SSBA Bond Act that Dr. Stowell and Galit Price will give us an overview of what the project is about, how we're going to submit it to the state, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what's in it. Dr. Stowell, thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent DiCarlo, Board of Education, community. We're really excited tonight. This is the last time, I promise, I'll talk to you about Smart School Bond because it's our last installment of it. As you know, this district was given $3.1 million of reimbursable funds by New York State to get us ready for the next generation standards in technology. I just want to give everybody a quick history of what the district has done so far. Our first Smart School Bond installment was approximately $186,000, and that was when we got our teachers Chromebooks to get them involved in the Google Suite. We provided a lot of professional development, and that was our first entry into the Google platform and mobile learning devices with Chromebooks. Our second installment, we needed to get our district infrastructure ready. If we were going to add more devices for students, we needed to increase our bandwidth on our wireless network, and we were able to do that. And so we spent approximately $673,000 on upgrading our wireless network throughout the entire district, and then purchased about 540 more Chromebooks so that we could start getting those devices into students' hands. Those things have been accomplished as well. Our third round was just the explosion of the use of the Google Suite and Chromebooks required us to get more devices in students' hands. So we purchased about another 600 Chromebooks, did Chromebook carts in the elementary school, Chromebook carts in the middle school and the high school. And then we decided through the district-wide committee, as you've all heard from me many times, our Technology for All platform. And this is when we went to a one-to-one district, grades 5 through 12, one Chromebook cart per classroom in grade 4, and one cart per every 2 classrooms, grades K through 3. So we've done a lot of advancement in a very little time, and we are at our last point. We have approximately $1.2 million left, and the last goal we have is a safe and secure environment through technological solutions. So what we're proposing is that we upgrade a new video surveillance system throughout the entire district. We add access controls, meaning card swipes in order to get into buildings at certain doors at certain times with certain people having particular access. We want to upgrade our visitor management system. We're also going to upgrade our intrusion control system. And lastly, all of these systems now are integrated. So if you push a button and you want something to happen, such like a lockout procedure, everything will be integrated. The access controls will change, the visitor management system will change, and the surveillance system settings will change. And the great part about this is that this is 100% reimbursable by New York State. So the whole $3.1 million that we have spent, we will get all of that back. We will get all of that back. So this is, for lack of a better term, free money, allowing us to upgrade not only our instructional technology, but also our security system. Right now, we do have security video in the district, but it is antiquated. I want to give you a quick video on what this new system may be able to do.
It's a very simple act of seeing an individual or a vehicle in any clip of video, any piece of video, being able to just click on it like you would click on a link on a website and say, show me all instances of that across all my cameras distributed across the site. What excites me is that we're now introducing a true search engine for video, a Appearance search is the first and foundational step to enable true video content-based search. It makes the act of finding the information that you need incredibly quick, and that really changes the nature of what video surveillance is going to be used for. It can do things like help find who left the bag at the facility. It can help find specific individuals who might be lost or missing. It can find vehicles that were perhaps in the scene entering the facility, now you want to know where it is. Those are all valid uses of this technology. Appearance search reduces dramatically the amount of resources, the amount of time that's required to investigate, and by that very nature, you don't have to just resort to looking at recorded video after the fact. You can actually be proactive, and I think that is how appearance search and search analytics in general is going to revolutionize video surveillance.
What we're doing is not only increasing the capabilities of our security system, but we're also increasing the number of cameras we have in the district by about 58%. I can't show you exactly where we point cameras, but the whole district already has been mapped, and the coverages is going to be greatly expanded, as well as the resolution of the pictures that we're going to be able to see. At this point, I'm going to hand it over to Galit Price. She is our technology coordinator from the RIC.
Thank you, Greg. Good evening, everybody. So new access control points, it can help us control who can come in, when, and where they can access the building. So if a PE teacher is using a back entrance to allow the kids to have gym outside, that teacher can allow the kids to come back in, and that door doesn't have to stay propped open. And there's automatic alerts when the doors are left ajar for too long. The door monitoring, we're putting hundreds of door contacts throughout the building, throughout the district. It will automatically let us know if the door is left ajar for too long. There's instantaneous alarms, so if, God forbid, there is a lockdown or lockout, everything kind of talks to each other and the doors get locked, and only those people that we need to come in to help are allowed to come in. And visitor management system, obviously that's important, and there's regulations, and we'll be compliant with the collection and auditing of the visitor data. They automatically get screened against felony and sex offender watch lists every time they come in, so it's automatically updated. And it'll improve security by identifying people right away. And of course, this talks with the rest of our entire system and security. Thank you.
So we appreciate the time, and if anybody has any questions, we'll be happy to answer. If not, we'll be more than happy to sit back down.
So I do have a question. So right now, how do we lock the doors district-wide?
Manually,
With an old-fashioned key?
yes. Or particular key that works on the door strikes.
Right, okay. So once the swipe cards are in place, will those keys go away?
Yeah, most of those keys will go away. We'll record in case some very few people need to have a key access, but there will be very few people. There will be no use for keys.
So if the key is lost now, well, you really have no accounting how many keys may be out there, correct? I mean, if somebody makes duplicates but with this system, if somebody loses a swipe card, you could instantaneously disable it?
We can disable it. We can give certain people access only to certain doors at certain times.
So 20 or 30 years ago, a swipe access card was something you'd see in like James Bond movies. Now it's really a necessity. It's not a luxury.
No, and you'll see it here in Manpack shortly if we get approved.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg, just maybe explain the process of how this goes out here. How long does this take to happen?
Mr. Ferrara, that's a good question. Right now, if the board approves tonight our proposal, what we'll do is we'll send it up to New York State Education Department and the Smart School Bond Review Committee. We're really beholden upon when they, we've been working with our architects, Tetra Tech, but we're really beholden upon two things. One, SED has to approve us doing the work for the wiring, and at the same time, the Smart School Bond Act has a review board, and they have to approve ours. So we're looking probably, to be quite honest with you, anywhere from 12 months, if we're really lucky, maybe to 18. But we're hoping on the short end of that. We're really going to try everything we can to expedite it. Everything's ready to go. The proposal's ready to go. Tetra Tech has been working on this, the specs for it. So we're ready to submit.
We're talking fall of 2020.
Well, hopefully a little bit earlier.
Summer
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
I just want people to understand expectations. It takes a while for things to happen.
Yeah, listen, there were times where our approval for the previous allocations came quicker than we expected because they had an emergency meeting and they approved us, and that could happen too. But at the same time, we have to wait for New York State to approve the project.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you very much. Now I have the great pleasure of introducing Mary Lou Beard, Region 2 Director and Governor, and Robert Tatundra, who are from the New York State School Councils Association, to present the Mahopac Central School District about an outstanding award. If you would mind coming up, thank you so much. Mary Lou and Robert, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Good evening. On behalf of our Mr. President, Dr. Gail Reed Barnett, our awards chair, Kristen Shearer, our Region 2 Governor, Mary Lou, behind me, and over 1,600 members of the New York State School Counseling Association, we would like to thank Superintendent DiCarlo and President Mancuso and the Mahopac School Board for this opportunity to recognize two of your Mahopac High School counselors, Dennis DeSanto and Ron Polaro. Come on up. So just a little history of what's going on. Each year, the New York State School Council Association, at its annual award ceremony, recognizes outstanding counselors and programs in several categories, including School Counselor of the Year, Administrator of the Year, and Outstanding Program Practice and Project Award. This year, Mr. DeSanto and Mr. Polaro were awarded the Outstanding Program Practice and Project Award. They were nominated by their colleague, Marianne Kalegi. The Outstanding Program Practice Award recognizes the best professional practice in the field, which is developmental, sequential in nature, as conducted during the previous year. Nominations reflect cutting-edge theory or practice in the field and offer evidence of impact on students and or the professional community. Nominations can be made by a nominee or a colleague of the nominee. So the criteria is we need specific information specific to the previous school year, 3 to 5 page narrative, examples of the program's success, brochures and so on, and program data that shows that it's part of the comprehensive school counseling program. So our recognition criteria included activity and accomplishments that have taken place over the span of the nominee's career, including the program, practice, or project must demonstrate leadership in the promotion of comprehensive school counseling development. The project involves all students, is integrated into school curriculum or climate. The program, practice, or project is delivered and coordinated by certified school counselors, and the program includes academic, social, emotional, college career domains as described in the comprehensive program. The other thing we also look for is programs that can be replicated by other school districts around the state if they choose to do that. So all of these criteria and qualifications are met by the Mahopac High School College Counseling Program. Dennis DeSanto and Ron Polaro have combined 60+ years experience as school counselors. I didn't write that, somebody else wrote it. They consult and collaborate to present a comprehensive college readiness program for our high school students. Each year, students in grades 9 through 12 have an opportunity to explore career and college options through a variety of day and evening programs. Their efforts are evident in the high rate of college matriculation for your students as per your school profile. 92% of the class of 2018 attended college. Wow.
Let's give them the awards.
Dennis, here are your awards.
Would you guys like to say something?
Thank you. Thank you. The programs that we do because we enjoy doing it, we believe in it, we're passionate about it, and it's really a great honor to be recognized for something that we just love doing and we believe in. So, thank you. I'm going to say ditto to what he said, but I want people to understand that when you get an award like this, no success is done in a vacuum. It takes a whole group of people to get to this award. So if I may, I want to thank the people who got us to this award, which would be our department, the counselors. I've never worked with such a professional team in my life. So with their support and their continued encouragement, they helped out. If we then move to Dr. Lawrence, who is our high school principal, with that encouragement of saying, yes, let's keep going, keep that program going, guys, we have done that part. We move on up to Mr. DiCarlo, superintendent. I know Mr. DiCarlo knows our program well because he has had students come through. He may have had one of these counselors too, we don't know. But this is important that we get support from the superintendent, and then we move on up to the Board of Education. You have always supported our program. You let us grow the way we have to grow. You let us develop the programs. To think that we got an award that the whole state of New York applied for, it says something about Mayapack, but we can't do it alone, and I thank you all. So on behalf of all of you people I just thanked, this award's for you too.
I just want to give my own congratulations. Having been a counselor myself, and actually in Yorktown, I was in Yorktown for 10 years, so I know a little bit about you guys because we had the evening school with you at the time I was there, but that was many years ago. This is a wonderful district. I can see how you care about each other. Just the fact that this department is so together tonight, I love it. It's wonderful. I do congratulate you. But what did they do? What is all this about? I was going to describe these programs, but I'm not going to. But I'm going to tell you the titles of the programs that won them this award. They have college mini fairs during the day. They have Mayapack University College Night. They bring the parents and the kids and talk to them about all different kinds of things related to college, right from writing recommendations to NCAA, everything, and everything in between. And those workshops are given by professionals in the colleges. And the Mayapack Financial Aid Night, of course, have to pay for all this. We get to the right place, so we have to pay for it. We're filling out the FAFSA. The National Hispanic College Fair for all the kids, making sure that everybody has access, equal access to all of the college representatives. And then something that is kind of dear to my heart is the sophomore advisory, Do What You Are. And that is a wonderful program. It really brings it all together. In the 9th grade, the kids take a personality inventory. And then in the 10th grade, they hook that up with colleges and careers. And then in junior year, they start going for it. And that really brings the program together. So this is a wonderful program. I congratulate all of you on behalf of the state. Thank you for being counselors.
Again, we'd like to thank Mayapack for giving us this opportunity to recognize Ron and Dennis, and wish everybody a happy holiday season and terrific New Year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Robert and Mary, thank you very much for coming tonight. And I just want to say what a great honor this is for the Mayapack Central School District. And I want to also thank, as Dennis said, Anna Boyle, Mariana Calighi, Trina Capone, Julie Cummings, Jacqueline Littman, and Terry Lockman for your support. And I know that will continue on in the years to come. So again, thank you all very much. I also have another great honor to share with you tonight, and it's a gentleman who was just up here, and that is now Coach Dennis DeSanto. As many of you may know, Dennis a number of weeks ago was such an incredible accomplishment to gain his 400th career win as a wrestling coach here at Mahopac High School in the state of New York. I believe Dennis is second in the history of the state of New York with wins. So Dennis, on behalf of the entire Mahopac community, we'd like you to come up and take this token on behalf of you, your accomplishments, but most importantly, everybody, it's not just about the wins, but it's about this gentleman here for close to 4 decades, really exemplifying what a coach does with student athletes. He really has a passion for what he does and trains young student athletes to become men, ready for college, ready for the world, and you have touched so many student athletes, families. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts of all that you've done for the students here at Mahopac. Dennis, congratulations. Very much so. That's for you. You guys want to say something, Dennis?
Thank you. Again, I was told a reporter last week when they were talking about the wins was that it's, to me, it's really about just teaching kids skills that will make them successful as they grow and go out in life, and that, it's just as much, don't get me wrong, I love to win, but I also is just as much satisfaction, more satisfaction out of taking a, kid who comes into practice and struggles and doesn't really win much, and then after a couple of, they stick with it and they begin to find a little bit of success and a little bit more success, and they may not even never become a varsity wrestler, but they're part of the program and they're just learning something that's going to stay with them for their life. So that's, to me, that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Dennis, thank you very much. At this time, we're going to call up our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Harvey Sutton, who's going to give us a quick update on our capital project. Harvey?
Excuse me. The board would just like to say, before you continue, we want to thank us counselors and Mr. DeSanto on what a wonderful job you're doing for our students. As a parent, I've had the pleasure of working with some of the counselors, and they are second to none. And this really is a wonderful testament of your dedication and your love of our students. And you can't do something great if you don't love it. And the students feel that, and the fact that they can go to you and everything you offer them, your advice, your support, information for the parents, we really appreciate it. So thank you to each and every one of you on behalf of the board. We truly appreciate you helping making Mahopac great. So thank you. And Mr. DeSanto, you're terrific. Everyone's terrific, but the students that graduate from you, there have been testimonials of the men you've made them is a testament to what you've done with them in high school, that they're men today, and all the great qualities that they have, they attribute a lot to you and their parents. So that speaks volumes, and that's what we're really looking for in Mahopac. So thank you so much 1,000 times for the work you're doing. And the winning is really nice. So keep it up, and thank you again. So I'm sorry about that, but thank you.
Good evening. Let me start by saying that with regards to the capital project, it is on track, it's on schedule, and that's a good sign. This is a big project, and it doesn't take much to get it derailed, but we continue to stay on schedule. With regards to where we are, the Buildings and Grounds Committee has been meeting continuously, and we are in the process of further boiling down and prioritizing what is realistically a large list of needs for the district, down to what we can afford so that this project is tax neutral. And we're very close to doing that, and again, that's part of being on schedule and on track, which is great to know. The other thing I want to talk about is there was a survey put out, a public survey with respect to the capital project. The response was extremely favorable, both in the number of responses. We had over 600 responses, as well the actual comments and feedback we got was favorable. The results will be soon to be on the website as well for the public as a whole to see. At this point, what I'd like to do is I'd like to turn the presentation over to Garrett Hamlin. He's the principal from Tetra Tech, who are our engineers and our architects. He too has been working with the district and the construction manager, and what he's going to do is give you a little bit more of an idea of the scope of where we are and the status of the project.
While we're getting the presentation lined up, Madam President, board members, Superintendent DiCarlo, thank you for having me tonight. It's my pleasure to present the work that's been going on for the capital project. As Mr. Sotland mentioned, there's a lot of work been going on. User group meetings, administrators, team meetings on our part. Buildings and Grounds Committee has been very active, and we're in a very good place at this point. So tonight I want to talk about the project timeline, pre-referendum phase timeline, give you an update on scope development, preliminary budget summary, look at some of the detailed scope lists by school, and I'll talk about a few other considerations as well. So, capital project timeline. This is a slide that most of you have seen before, and we're getting very close to the point of finishing the pre-referendum phase. We're looking to complete that in February with board action, moving towards the vote in May. Upon a successful vote, we'd start design right away, then go to SED after that, and bid an award, and we'll look at construction starting in 2021. So it's important to recognize that these projects are slow going. Everybody often thinks once you see a vote, you're going to see construction the next summer, and that won't be the case due to the effort that needs to go on, and also SED review periods. So if we drill into a little bit more detail on the pre-referendum timeline, here we are in December at the December board meeting. We have a January board meeting and then a February one. And the February board meeting, as I said before, is the one where if we can stay on track, we'll be ready for the board to take action, both on the SEQR, State Environmental Quality Review Act for the project, and then for the resolution for the vote itself. I just want to point out that as we're developing the scope for this project, we're looking at two components. One is a financial component, making sure that it stays tax neutral under the threshold, but we're also looking at developing a scope that meets needs across the district in many different areas. So academics, athletics, each of the buildings, and making sure that sort of everyone gets something that's meaningful to their program along the way. So capital project scope development, for us, there's a spreadsheet, and I understand this is not a legible image, but I want to show it to you just to remind everyone that there's, behind all the work that we're going to show tonight, is a very detailed spreadsheet that line by line shows what the scope is in the project, and that's how we're determining the budgets of each item and the total budget for the project. So if we distill that down into a summary, we are right now seeing approximately a project of $52 million, and I'll go through the scope that's included in that at this point. The one thing I want to point out is that this project includes budgets for each construction item in today's dollars. Then we look at adding contingencies, cost escalation, and we come to a construction subtotal of about $41 million. There's incidentals on top of that. That would be soft costs, as noted here, that cover all the other costs that are associated with doing a capital project. So that's how we get to the $52 million. This number is very preliminary, where it's going to change as we move towards February, but we're right in the right ballpark, and that's what's important here. So, capital project scope. The project's conceived around three main components. One is programmatic enhancements, educational programmatic enhancements, safety and security, and infrastructure upgrades. So when we did our facility evaluation back in 2015 as part of SED's requirement, we came up with a lot of infrastructure. You could have just done infrastructure upon infrastructure item. But as we've gone through this process of scoping the project, we know that the district prioritizes educational program enhancements and safety and security needs as well. So the project would have all aspects of that. I'm going to show you slides for each of the schools. So for the high school, these are the various upgrades that are planned for the high school. And I'm not going to read the whole list, but I'll touch on a couple. Science lab upgrades. The science labs in many cases are original to the building, haven't been updated along the way, and they really need it. Music room improvements, STEAM lab, so science, math, technology all together in one space. Library Media Center upgrades, that's going to be true across all schools in the district, so it'll be a real boost to that program in the district. Synthetic turf practice field, locker room upgrades, stadium lighting. So there's a big component of this project that's addressing athletic needs as well. Safety and security, so security vestibules, that's true across all schools. Egress and fire alarm upgrades, and public address system upgrades as well. And then the nuts and bolts of infrastructure, roofing, HVAC upgrades, clocks, electric panels. Roofing is in many schools throughout the district needed. I want to just make a point of mentioning that you're completing a current roofing project that was very successful. It was on budget, it was actually a little under budget, certainly on time, and so this is going to be a continuation of that for the other roofs in the district. The middle school, again, Library Media Center, STEAM labs, safety and security upgrades, infrastructure, and there's roofing plan for that as well. I'll just point that out. The elementary schools, one of the things that we're looking at in terms of the elementary schools is making sure there's parity among the three schools. So again, all library and media center upgrades to bring those programs into really the 21st century in terms of technology and spatial configurations. Safety vestibules, security vestibules as well, clocks and electric panels. Similar for Fulmer Road, Lakeview, and then Mahopac Falls. This is an image of the roof on Mahopac Falls, and I'll point that out because it's probably one of the most needed next roofs to come online in the district. So one of the things that has come out of the conversations with administrators and users in the buildings is a question about air conditioning. This is true for y'all, and it's also, we're hearing it from many other clients, other school clients as well. So, Mr. Shotman, you put this matrix together, right? In terms of air conditioning in the district. And I thought it was informative to show you tonight where is what. And so I've given some little color coding. So these are all the spaces that are currently air conditioned in the district itself. And the salmon color items are two places that the project currently is budgeted to add air conditioning to. One is the cafeteria in Lakeview, and one is to get the chiller, important part of the air conditioning system, working in the middle school science wing as well. There have been some conversations about potentially adding air conditioning to some of the other larger spaces in the district, and those are noted by the purple. Those are currently not in the budget, and we'll need some final decisions as to whether that's affordable or not. We had a pretty healthy discussion about this topic at the work session on Monday, and I'm hoping this slide helps answer some of those questions. So I talked a fair amount about what's in the project. One of the things that I want to point out is that you can't do everything in this project because there are so many needs in the district. And so it's a matter of prioritizing what needs to get done now and what could potentially wait for the future. One of the things that we are recommending is that the bus garage is in need of significant investment and upgrade, potential replacement. But our feeling is that that deserves to be in a separate project that actually addresses that in a very comprehensive way. So we're recommending, and if you go back to the slide for the overall budget, you'll see there's $0 associated for the bus garage. And we're recommending that that be set aside for a separate project. One of the things that's been talked about amongst all the groups is that while you wouldn't want to invest too much in a bus garage now that's potentially going to be replaced in the future or renovated in the future, significant renovations, there may still be some things that should be done at this point that would enhance their work environment for the folks that are using that right now. So we, over the course of the next couple of weeks and months, will be looking at potential sort of important things that could be done that wouldn't be overinvestment in the building to help them. And then the other thing to note is that there is some conversation about where the district office belongs within the district, and so that is not currently budgeted in this project. So I just want to point that out, that that's not, that any district office work is not included. And that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions? We good? Okay.
Thank you, Darren.
Happy holidays.
Same to you. Thank you.
At this time, do we have come to comments on agenda items? Are there any comments on any agenda items? Okay, we'll move to acceptance of the warrants. Motion to accept the warrants for December 20th, 2018. Second? All in favor? Thank you. Motion to accept the treasurer's report for December 20th, 2018. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion to accept the work session minutes for November 13, 2018.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion, abstention? Motion to accept regular meeting minutes for November 14, 2018. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Yes.
Thank you. And at this time, we have our superintendent's report. I hand the microphone over to Superintendent DeCarlo.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Just a couple of quick notes. Just as another great accomplishment by our athletic programs. We had 10 of our 11 teams this fall were chosen as scholar teams. That means you have to have a 90 overall average as a team. There was one team that had 88, which is an outstanding average too. Otherwise, it would have had 11 out of 11. So I want to congratulate our student athletes as well as our coaches and athletic programs for such a great and wonderful accomplishment. And also to all those participants in our concerts over the last number of weeks. I know some of the board members had gone, myself and our administrative team want to congratulate all of our musicians, our bands, our orchestras, our choruses for just an outstanding job over the last couple of weeks, and thank you for all that you do. And finally, just closing, on behalf of myself, I know the Board of Education will want to extend a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, as we go forward over the next couple of weeks. Enjoy our families, relax, and get ready to re-energize as we start the 2019 school year. So thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you, Superintendent DeCarlo. At this time, we have our committee reports. So do we have any reports on that end? I think we have them on this end. So we'll start with Trustee Musafra on policy.
Good evening, everyone. On December 4th, the policy committee met. At time present was Dan Pettigrew, our attorney, Allison Smith, our attorney, Mr. DeCarlo, Melody LaRocca, district clerk, trustee Mike Pizzeri, Mike Mongan, trustee via phone, and myself. At the time, we discussed some policies. regarding transportation and childcare facilities. The topic discussed was regarding the timeline for submission for requests, but there's more to come on that. We also discussed social media guidelines regarding communication methods for staff to students, and we also briefly reviewed the recommendations from NISBA from the 2000 series. We hope our next meeting will be on the 8th of January. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Masaka. I think we have an athletics committee report. Trustee O'Connor?
We do. Good evening. The Athletics Committee met on December 3rd. Present were Superintendent DiCarlo, Athletic Director John Augusta, Trustees Mongan and Keene, and myself. The committee discussed many different approaches and ways to enhance the athletic programs here at Mayapack, and it's an ongoing discussion. We meet monthly. One thing we just chose to do is post all coaching positions in the Mayapack News so that the local residents can see open positions and can apply for them. So we encourage local residents to apply for any positions that they see that they feel they're qualified for. Stepping off of the athletics committee for a moment, I just wanted to tell a quick story about this past summer. My son was fundraising for the Mayapack Touchdown Club. And so you guys, many of you probably have been asked to donate for this club. It's a fundraiser for the football team. And I received a phone call from a person who made a donation, and he put me in touch with another fellow. His name is Owen McConnell, who called me to make a donation to the Touchdown Club, which is pretty rare because typically we're chasing people to donate money. So I set him up with my son, and he made a very, very generous donation. He wasn't interested in having his name put in the ad book. It was just something that he wanted to do. I've never met him face to face, but he was a very generous, nice fellow on the phone. I've come to find out the other day that Mr. McConnell was diagnosed with cancer. And so some of his players on the team that he coached, apparently he's a very well-respected and dedicated member of the community, and they're having a fundraiser for him this Sunday at 9 o'clock, which is December 23rd at 9 a.m. On the bike path at Mud Pond Road. I'll say it one more time because I'm being spitting a little bit into the microphone, but it's this Sunday at 9 a.m. at the bike path at Mud Pond Road. There will be a fundraiser. There'll be a bunch of events going on. They're doing a 4K run. They'll be serving food and whatnot, so if anybody from the community can make it. Mr. McConnell, I'm sure, would love to see the support that he so deserves. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee O'Connor. Special Ed did have their meeting finally after many different circumstances, weather, sickness. We finally were able to meet on December 20th. Special Education Committee met with Dr. Stoll, Dr. Sweeney, and Dr. Hale. We discussed various topics. We really went over the region's performances of our students and how they've done. We discussed with Dr. Sweeney and Dr. Hale various topics based on outcomes of CSC meetings and are we truly meeting the needs of our students, and to always keep that in the forefront of the students' needs that we're there to provide for them. We also talked about what our goals are for this year, the areas of focus for Pupil Personnel Services Department, and we will continue to review and refine our programs, support services, and approaches based upon student needs, feedback, and student outcome that align to our core values and beliefs, as well as learning best practices for the social and emotional well-being of our students. So we will have another meeting in February, and the date is to be announced. So thank you to all our special education administrators and all the hard work they do in supporting our students that have various needs. Thank you. This time, we come to the consent agenda. Any items for removal from the consent agenda? I would like to remove number 8(3)B. Does anyone have anything they would like to remove from the consent agenda? Motion to approve consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to discuss and welcome Ashley DeSombre, our tenure. Welcome to the Mayapack family. So, wave to the camera, with a smile. We have heard great things about you, and it was really, really wonderful to hear how your colleagues and your supervisors feel about you and the impact you've made as a psychologist in the Falls School, the Falls Academy. So thank you so much. We look forward to many years with you here, and we hope you're always smiling as you are today, and happy and giddy. So, motion to approve Miss Ashley DeSombre. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
You got a little nervous. I removed you, right? You're like, oh my God, what are they doing? We just wanted to give you a Mayapack shout out. Congratulations. Job well done. This time, we have resident comments. Are there any resident comments? Does anyone want to get up? Any resident comments? No? Okay. So we will make a motion to, before we close the meeting, on behalf of the Board of Education, we'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, a very wonderful, safe, happy, healthy New Year. Thank you for everyone here for coming and visiting us. We have some warm bodies here, so that's always very nice. And we want to thank our administrators and our staff and our teaching assistants out there. Thank you for all that you do, and everyone on the front lines and everyone watching. So thank you so much. Have a happy and healthy New Year. And motion to close.
So moved.
We're gonna add something to the concessionaire, is that in here? I thought Harvard had something to add to the concession.
Yeah, it's in.
It's in
Yeah,
there?
it's done.
Okay, very good. I was sure to miss it.
Motion to, you're checking on me, Dave, huh?
Keep an eye on it, I could find it.
It's okay. Motion to close?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Thank you.